Hello everyone, my name is David. Welcome to Q&A Mondays. This is a question and answer video. I'm answering your guys' questions, and I'm answering the questions from you guys, or the questions you guys asked last Monday in the last Q&A Monday video. Any questions you have today, please go down below, answer or ask me anything you want, and I'll answer them next Monday in the next Q&A. Do this every single Monday. So just ask me on the very current last Monday video, okay? Welcome new subscribers, channel's growing well. Thank you everyone for subscribing. Please ask questions, take advantage of free information, okay? It is just my opinion. I am just a life coach, not a therapist, counselor, doctor, just giving my opinion through my experience, my own personal experience and helping others for the last few years. So, one thing I like to recommend every couple weeks is I'd like to bring up something called Shane's Law Petition, for those of you who don't know what that is already. Shane was a man who suffered and was a victim of a nasty, nasty narcissistic smear campaign. Him and his wife endured this kind of smear campaign, smear targeting, smear attack, abuse from a narcissist for quite a long time. And Shane couldn't find help anywhere. No help. It just continued on and on and on until Shane took his own life. And this is very common. People suffering from narcissistic abuse are committing suicide every single day. You guys can help stop this everywhere around the world by supporting this petition. Even though it's in the United States, I hope maybe we can kind of set the pace for how things like this go. I'm going to put a link down below in the description box. If you could be so kind and so supportive to follow this link and just sign it, to help promote this and keep it going and maybe make more laws from this. A lot of people get confused about what this is, and it's not for revenge. It's not to say this person did this to me, blah, blah, blah. It's simply to stop public smearing. Just targeting and attacking, talking bad about people, ruining people's lives, stuff like this. It's got to stop. And with the internet growing like this, it's out of control. So anything we can do to help regulate this stuff would be great. Thank you guys. I also like to recommend something for you guys for recovery or support, help from narcissistic abuse. And this week I'm going to recommend another book. A lot of you people out there identify with empaths and say you're very high in empathy, and some of you identify and call yourself an empath. So I decided to recommend something for you guys and for everyone. This is called Empath. 2 books in one. A comprehensive guide for highly sensitive people and how empaths can protect from narcissistic abuse. Thought it was pretty interesting. It's by Judith Goldman, and she writes, "Are you attracted to people centered only on themselves? Have you ever felt drained when you spend time around certain people?" So I thought it was pretty interesting. It will show a little bit different view than mine, a little bit different perspective. And I thought that was something that could benefit you guys. Judith Goldman is a marriage and family therapist. She's been in the business over 30 years. She works with couples and helps people recover from abuse. So I will put the link down in the description box so that you guys can have, I believe it's free on Kindle, and you can buy the paperback or hardbook version if you like. Thank you guys. So let's get started right away with the questions. First one is from Misty in Connecticut. Hello, Misty. I'd love to know if you've moved on and are now in a healthy relationship. I also would love to know where you're from. I know you've said it before, but I always forget. Let's hear about you for a few minutes next week. You're always so helpful and full of knowledge. You've helped me through one of the hardest times in my 41 years of life. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you, Misty, for telling me that I've helped you. That's nice. And thank you for being curious about me and my personal life. So I try not to share too much identifying information, but I was born here in America. I am a military brat, meaning both my parents were in the military, and so because of that, I lived all over the place. I was born here, but I grew up a lot of my childhood in Japan and other parts of the United States. I've lived on the East Coast, West Coast, South Coast. I spent most of my life in the Northwest, and I'm currently in Las Vegas right now. So I've been all over the place. I was adopted, and I kind of left my family at a pretty young age, and I've been on my own since. And I just go where life takes me. I've lived here now in Las Vegas for 10 years, And like I said, I'm from the Northwest originally before this, where I lived most of my time. And I was born and grew up most of my childhood, I would say, in the deep South. But thank you for asking. If you want to know more, feel free to ask. I don't mind at all. Thank you, Misty. And I have all kinds of healthy relationships. Yeah, only healthy relationships. If I can't have a healthy relationship, then I try as hard as I can to make it work if it's important to me. And if it can't work, then I end it. I don't have unhealthy relationships. But I try hard. I don't just discard and drop people left and right. If someone's important to me, that relationship, then I try really hard. So I have very healthy relationships, and it's all about how healthy you become, your awareness and stuff like this, and feeling better about your past and building your self-worth and stuff like this, so that things that are important to you in your life, you have the worth, self-worth and esteem and stuff like this, to have have people in your life that also have the same things important. So things like integrity and honesty and loyalty, things like this are important to me. So I only have people in my life that also hold those things important. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Thanks again for asking, Missy. Feel free, anyone, ask me more questions. Thanks. Hi, David. Christian from Sweden. Hello, Christian. Here I have one for next Monday. I asked my contact in the trauma center if my daughter is going to inherit her mother's sickness. My ex has BPD, and her mother is a narcissist, and her mother before her also. She replied by saying only one good parent is enough for my daughter to not go through the same path as they did. Do you agree on this? 100%. 100%. 100%. Everyone's experience is different. We all react to things differently. You never know how someone's going to react. Personality disorders, some can be, and maybe all, have a genetic component. Okay, it doesn't mean that you inherit personality disorders. Her mother and grandmother could be very high in neurosis, very susceptible to things like maybe anxiety and stuff like that. It doesn't mean that she's going to have a personality disorder. That could have helped the mother and the grandmother. I don't know, but it's environment mostly. I truly believe that. And people react differently to trauma. Borderline is based on narcissism and stuff like this, inappropriate parenting, trauma, stuff like this, unhealed trauma. So one thing I always say is, resilience is something that a lot of us have, and we've endured a lot of trauma and abuse for many, many years, and we find that we're pretty resilient to these things. And I attribute that to someone in that child's life, someone in your life that did love you or look you in the eye and respect you and validated your feelings and your thoughts and stuff like this. If you take a child who's raised by one parent who abuses them, and this child doesn't have exposure to anyone else really in their life, no siblings, no father, grandparents, aunts, uncles, it's just that parent who's abusing them all the time, that child has a way less chance of not developing a personality disorder. A lot less chance. To have another parent in their life with some stability, things like this, it can make all the difference in the world. Yeah. And it doesn't mean because her mother is disordered that she will be disordered. No. And she's it's good she has you. And that could be the difference. Yeah. Hope that answers your question. Thank you, Christian. If not, just ask me again. And anybody, I always forget to say this. If I miss your question, if I misunderstand, if you don't understand me, anything, just ask me again. It doesn't bother me. And I don't mind repetitive questions. Most of us, we need to hear these things over and over again anyways. Okay? Thanks. Shell from Chicago. Hi, David. Can two borderlines date or get married? Do they get into romantic relationships? If they both want the same things, why don't they seek out their own kind instead of us, non-borderlines? Hello, Shell. Thank you for your question. They don't reason like that very much. Borderlines often date each other. Borderlines are often friends. I've seen total groups of friends that are all, look and appear all borderline. and they will hurt each other and fight and talk crap about each other to everyone, and they'll leave people and come back, and they'll cheat and all have sex with each other, and it's gross. You know, I think of it as just drug addicts, man. Drug addicts. Drug addicts hang around other drug addicts. Drug addicts go where there's drugs. You know what I mean? So it's very common that disordered people hang out with each other and stuff like this. As far as relationships, it really doesn't matter, because if they're sick, borderline, they're not going to have a functional, happy, healthy relationship with anybody. And it doesn't matter who it's with. It's going to be bad. It's going to be. And with another borderline, I would say worse. They don't have somebody a little more stable saying, hey, wait, hold on. What are you doing there? Stop. You know, it's just sick, just total sick, fighting, hurting each other, exploitation. So why don't they seek out their own kind? Well, I think, you know, they do. They do date each other. They date narcissists. They date other disordered people. But, you know, think about it. Think about disordered people dating each other. Massive love bombing, massive hormones going up. They're like, woo, 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 right? And then all the problems that they have, it's just more, worse, amplified. It becomes, you know, between borderlines, it becomes so codependent and so addicted and enmeshed with each other. So gross. And they both become responsible for each other. And it's like they become one person. But they don't give each other what they need. And that's where it always fails. Is they're not open, they're not honest, they're not vulnerable, they don't share, and they get paranoid. They sense danger, or they're always gonna think each other are leaving them for no reason. They'll make this stuff up. Yeah. Anyways, why don't they date each other? They do. But it won't matter. It won't work out. What's that saying? Birds of a feather flock together. You'll often see disordered people with friends with other disordered people, for sure. Something a lot of disordered people will do is they will hang around and stay with their abuser for so long, and they'll keep abusive friends in their life forever. Back and forth, in and out. They'll keep abusive family members, and they'll keep in contact with them all the time. So it's going to be really common, like I said, like drug addicts, you know. But as far as dating, they can't offer anything to someone else, really. So they aren't interested. They're going to go try and be with someone more stable. You know? Hope that makes sense. Ask me more if it doesn't. Thanks, Shel. Julia. Hello from India. Can you please tell me how married narcissistic men operate in extramarital affairs and how we get trapped in their stories about the wife not treating them well? Please help me. So narcissist men who cheat, who are married and cheat on their wives, and you're saying how they tell the stories about their wife not treating them well. So very narcissistic quality or tendency or trait is they play that victim role. It's always poor me, poor me. That's you know, these people are unhealed victims. These people have massive problems of their childhood. Most likely they've been abused and stuff like this, and they feel like anything that goes wrong with another person, that person did something to them. They hurt me, ow, you know. And so it's real easy for them to rewrite the narrative and go about their day everywhere and say, this person hurt me, this person hurt me, this person hurt me, because I feel bad. And I take no responsibility in this relationship. So the person I'm with has all the responsibility. This relationship's going bad, it's your fault. Fix it. Mom, dad, they parentify you. They take no responsibility. Just like a child with mom and dad. They don't think for meals. They don't plan events. They don't pay for anything. They don't, you know what I mean? It's just you're the parent. They're the child. So they will pretend they're in this marriage that they can't get out of for some reason. The children, money, they'll get sued, all this crap. So they have to stay in the marriage, right? But they're so miserable. She treats me so bad. She abuses me. She's a narcissist. She's so bad to the children. I can't, if I leave, then she'll have the children. The courts always award the mother the children. I've got to stay there and make sure she's good to the children. I got to raise these children. I'm the only one that can. She can't. She's too emotionally unstable. She's crazy. Narcissist's favorite word to call their partner. Crazy. So a real victim. Poor me. And I can't get out. I can't get away from this marriage. And I can't stand her. Don't worry. I can't stand her. You're so much better than my wife. You make me feel so much better. Why can't my wife be more like you? You know, guys, don't date married people. I don't care what their excuse, their reason, how good looking, how good in bed they are, how much money they have, what they're telling you, what they're promising you. I don't care. Do not date married people, period. I don't care if they say, oh, we're really separated, but we're living together. Oh, we're really like this. Get a divorce. Call me up when it's final, buddy. Why do you want to date somebody married? What did they need to tell you? You know they're married. You know? Stop. Stop. Okay? Don't do anything. You don't need to go tell his wife. You don't need to go hurt him. You don't need to have somebody else do something. You don't need to just stop and realize that these are behaviors of somebody who hates themselves. I'm not saying you hate yourself. But if you don't hate yourself, stop acting like it. Only people that date married people don't like themselves. Period. I'm sorry for anyone who's done it out there and you're like, no, I love myself. I dated a married person, but I don't hate myself. You don't love yourself. Stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. I'm not blaming you. I'm not saying that it's all your fault. I'm not saying he didn't lie, manipulate. I'm not saying that and now you're attached and now you care about him, whatever it is. Build your self-worth by ending this. You don't owe any explanation to this person. This person is a lying cheat. They're heavily manipulating you, and it won't do any good to have a conversation with them about this. You end it. End it now. Don't answer the phone. Don't talk to them. Don't read messages. Don't look at messages. Don't seek revenge. Don't talk to his family, his friends, his wife. Do nothing. And start working on yourself away from this person and realizing, find yourself away from this person. See who Julia is when this person's nowhere around. That's who you are. Not when this person's around. Not when you're talking, thinking, and feeling about this person. That's not you. You're being fooled, conned, manipulated, tricked, lied to, abused. Okay, Julia, there's really not much I can tell you about this except stop dating married men. Okay? Thanks. Good luck. Do this for you. Tesla from Pensacola, Florida. Hello, Tesla. I can't find any information on my particular family dynamic. I was raised by two very empathetic parents, always wanting to help everyone and putting others' needs ahead of theirs. I married a narcissist first husband and dated a borderline with narcissistic traits for almost 10 years. The borderline was the worst. I have realized the borderline was the most damaging of both. I'm a year out and I'm healing, but I'm still nowhere near where I thought I would be at this point. I'm starting to think that my empathetic ways have led me to be too trusting, and I'm learning boundaries now. Have you experienced a person that was raised in this environment having issues as an adult? Yes. I'd recommend watching, I have a bunch of videos about what's called CPTSD, Complex Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder. I made a bunch of videos and I put them in a playlist. For those of you guys that don't know where playlists are, tons of people, I'm finding out they have no idea what playlists are. When you go on someone's homepage of the YouTube channel, you'll see the banner and my photo, and you see the subscribe count and all that. Somewhere towards the top, you'll see headers. I believe it says videos, it says home, videos, playlists, channels, and about. Go to playlists. There's one that says healing, CPTSD. I talk all about the stuff you guys are experiencing after narcissistic abuse and why, to help you understand. Awareness of our own lives and our own childhood and our own family dynamic is very limited it's very difficult to see into our own lives. You don't have anything to compare it to. Unless you start becoming an expert in family dynamics, it's hard to understand your own. It's hard to see things. Every single client I've ever had, it doesn't matter if they think their childhood was perfect or if they understand and realize how bad their childhood really was. I'm always able to show them more. Always. Every one of them. The first thing I could just suggest is being too agreeable, where we're not being emotionally responsible. I feel this way, I need to do something about it. What most parents like this teach their children is you keep your feelings to yourself, right? Just it's like almost like talking bad, saying bad things. No, you keep that to yourself. If you don't have anything good to say about someone else, you don't say anything else at all. So you just don't, yeah. It's like, I'm not going to talk about how I feel, okay? And so therefore I can't change it. Therefore, I'm not going to, if I can't express how I feel, if you're ever in an environment where you can't express how you feel, then you're going to try to ignore how you feel. Because it's going to be too much, too intense. The good times, joy, celebration, negativity, depression, anxiety. I got to keep all this quiet, so I'm just going to try to numb it. With drugs, alcohol, do you have addictions, food addictions, relationship addictions, work all the time, work too much, all kinds of stuff this causes problems with. So what most likely happened is they haven't taught you to be in tune with your emotions so that you can meet your emotional needs. As nice as they were, maybe they didn't meet your emotional needs because they probably weren't taught how to themselves by their parents. There could be a lot more going on that you may not be aware of. I would look into shame. I would look into what shame is and try to understand that. There might be events in your life that you don't quite understand that might make you feel like a bad person. And that lowers our self-worth. And we date people who we see are kind of sick. But we date them anyways because our self-worth is low too. And we don't hold up strong boundaries because we don't feel worthy of it. And they kind of go down and people step over them. If you're dating people like this, your boundaries are low. If your boundaries are low, so is your self-worth. If your self-worth is low, it's because you carry some type of shame with you. It could be from trauma. It could be because people treated you badly. Okay? If you don't have trauma in your life, if someone never, and it doesn't have to be your parents, guys. You have an aunt and an uncle who was bad to you, treated you bad, touched you wrong place. I'm not kidding. You got a babysitter, sibling abuse, all kinds of stuff. Dad tells you to go grab something, you grab it, and he says, that's stupid. Shame. Feel like a bad person. Go and date a narcissist later. Maybe. Okay? There's all kinds of things, and it's too hard for me to just look at this because I doubt it's just that. It's just, I have two great, loving, empathic parents, so I dated narcissists. It's got to be something else. I can find that probably. So could other doctors. Should be able to. I'm not a doctor, I'm saying so should other doctors and counselors and therapists. That's their job to find these things. Not saying they will, but they should. It's important to. So you understand, so you can feel better about that experience and not feel like a bad person and let people treat you bad. Okay? Hope I'm making sense. But that alone, I'll just tell you that doesn't, your parents probably didn't help teach you how to meet your own emotional needs. Be in tune with your emotions so you know what you need. Lowered your self-worth. Something happened. Self-worth went down. Promise you. Something. Let's see, I'm going to see where I'm at because I'm getting low on time. And I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shove all this into one Q&A because I just realized I'm going to be able to do that. Cool. So let me answer this real quick. It sucks now that I know everything about people now. I see their weaknesses, manipulations, tactics. They're using projection. No one I can talk to about it. My friends think I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. I'm also hard trying to decide what to put up with and what not to put up with. I'm new to this, and nobody is perfect, but I see their insecurities and why they do the things they do. This is not fun when you're dating, etc. I'm sad and perplexed about this. What can I do? Hour and a half away from Houston, Texas. And this is Sun Girl 99. Hello. Your experiences have been negative. So is your perception in the world right now. It's pessimistic. And I'm going to tell you that this will take you to bad, dark places, okay? Try not to date anybody right now. Okay, start working on yourself and figure out everything in your life that makes you feel bad or like a bad person. Okay, start really cognitive therapy. Start getting professional help and realizing that everything, your attitude on everything is where your life is going to go. If you're pessimistic and negative, you're not going to get better. You're not going to feel better. People are going to start treating you bad, keep treating you bad, and you're going to keep having bad experiences. Okay? I've made lots of videos. All my videos are about this, what to do. So we see the negativity in the world when we're in it. Okay? Human beings, all human beings will do bad things sometime in their life. That does not mean we're all bad. Stop looking at people as good and bad. I'm telling you guys, stop doing that. People aren't good or bad. Good people do bad things, bad people do good things. It can be really confusing, can't it? Because it doesn't work. Good and bad really are just the worst words to use in the universe. What's good for you could be bad for me, vice versa. It's all perspective, it's subjective, it's just opinionated. Healthy, unhealthy. People are unhealthy or they're healthy or somewhere in the middle. Okay? For all of you that believe in evolution, try to understand. And even if you don't, try to see that we're socially evolving. And there's so many factors like technology, the internet. It's affecting this, okay? But we're evolving. We're somewhere on that evolutionary scale, aren't we? And maybe we're on the 1 yard line, and maybe we're on the 50 yard line. But we are evolving. Look at us all like children, just learning, falling down, making mistakes, getting back up, helping each other out a little bit. But really, it's about us. Don't expect too much. You know? The world will be whatever you want it to be. Whatever you're looking for, you will find it. If you want to find hell, you will find it. If you want to find bliss, it's there. Okay? Your experience will be whatever you want it to be. I promise you that. Because I've heard some of the nastiest experiences you don't even want to hear. I've heard them. And these people, some of these people telling me these experiences are okay. Okay? So, it's whatever you want it to be. You take control. You take the reins of your life. And you decide where it's going to go. I promise you. I promise you. And even if you don't believe it, you just keep telling yourself until you believe it. Okay? I hope that helps. Our hypervigilance can get the best of us. It'll make us wake up every hour or two at night. It'll make us overreact, and it'll make us think the world's a nasty, dark, deep, nasty, dirty, bad place. And it's just a world that has all of it. It's got bad and good, healthy, unhealthy. Where do you want to stand? Where do you want to be? Who do you want to talk to? Who do you want to share your brain with for the rest of your life? Who do you want to open your front door to? Who do you want to live with? It's your choice. It's up to you. It's up to you. If you don't see it that way, you can't have control over it. You can't make appropriate choices for yourself if you don't understand that you are where you're at because of your choices. That you always have a choice. Okay? Enough ranting. I was able to get all of this in one video. Awesome. I think that's the first time I've ever done that. Thank you guys. Love yourself first. If you can help me by suggesting this video, making it more active by voting, up or down, comment, ask questions, okay? Post this in different social media. Suggest it, things like that. It helps. Not me, but the information to get bigger. Okay, if you think this is beneficial information, it can help people, support it, please. Thank you. Love yourself first, guys. I'll see you next Monday. Ask me questions, please. Thank you. Bye-bye.